and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 340. Who knew, I think it was 7 years ago, that I would be doing this? Or are we coming up, I think it's coming up on 8 years in October. Who knew? So anyway, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking outside. If you hear thunder in the background, there's a thunderstorm starting and it's almost sounded like hail was coming down. So I was looking real quick, but we're good so far. So let's get started. What do I have for finished objects? I have 2 dishcloths. If you missed my tutorial on Tunisian crochet, you can click the link right here and that will take you over to it. But here is my first washcloth or dishcloth. You could use it for a washcloth for those boutique type of moments. And here is the other one. They're identical. The yarn I am using is leftover from a sweater I crocheted. This is Comfy Cotton Blend from Lion Brand. And I do like this. I've made some dishcloths out of, not this color, but I've used Comfy Cotton before. And I do find that it is holding the color. It's a couple years old and it's faded a little, but not that much. Not like the Lily Sugar and Cream. I like that yarn, but every time I make dishcloths with it, I just find it fades out and turns gray. But this has not, at least the other color, so I'm hoping this one will do the same. I did get a tip from Sally Thibodeau, so thank you, Sally. I appreciate it. My next one, I'm going to experiment with that. Her suggestion to keep it from curling, because you're always going into the front of the stitch. If you watch the tutorial, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're always going into these little front vertical posts that are up. That's what causes it to curl, and so it's thicker on the back than it is on the front. So her suggestion, she said TL Yarn Crafts had suggested this, so I'm passing this on because I think it's a good tip. To do the first 2 rows or so in single crochet and then start into the Tunisian crochet and then end it with 2 or 3 rows of single crochet, and that keeps it from rolling. So good to know. So I'm going to experiment with that, and my next one I will be doing that. So thank you, Sally. I do appreciate that tip because yeah, these are kind of sad looking when they're curled like that, but I know once they get wet they'll be fine. But yeah, they need to be blocked or something at this point. So that is my finished objects. So let's get started with my works in progress. First thing I have is my cowl that I have been working on. I really like this pattern. There you can really see it's not a cable, it's just like a twisted, they're calling it, I think it's a twisted rib is what they're calling it. But I really think it is pretty the way it goes on here. It's very simple. It is a 4-row repeat to create this, so I really like it. This is made with my yarn from my Christmas in July Advent calendar. So it's 10 skeins. I am in color number 5. So yeah, I am literally halfway through at this point. So I'm real happy with how that is looking so far. And the pattern is, it initially used Yakima yarns, and I believe it was a yarnspiration.com. I think that's where the pattern came from. I will put it down here where the pattern came from, but it is a free pattern. So yeah, it's really nice. And I think it's gonna, once it gets blocked out, it's gonna be not a snug fit around my neck, but you know, it's not gonna be hanging loose either. So, and this is really soft yarn because it is merino wool. So yeah, that's the color. Well, there's the color I'm working on currently. Just this blue and white, and you can see it up top here, right in here. So you can see I'm about halfway through. Each of the colors I'm finding are taking roughly about 1.5 inches on this to get through. Did you hear that thunder? Yeah. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 is my 6-pointed star afghan. And yeah, it's, I don't know if I can hold the whole thing out. It's not huge, but it's just because of all the different stars, it's hard to hold it up. So there is some of it here and there and going around. I mean, you get the idea. One point is the same as the others. I'll hold it up so you can see it closely. There you can see the star point, or well, one of the points of the star. So I've gotten a ways on this. I did not put a stitch marker. I should have put a stitch marker so that you all could see how far I went. I'll put one on for next week, but I got quite a few rows done on that. And then the last project I'm working on is my sweater, and I finally finished the body of it, and I am now working on it's like a mesh section that is over in here. It's basically yarn overs, and I believe it's the bamboo stitch. I have done that stitch before and it looks very, very similar to it. So let me hold this up so hopefully you can see. I put a couple extra inches onto the sweater. Now the mesh on this sweater, it shows it like down almost at the bust area. I moved the mesh up to about here because I don't like that much exposure. So I did give it extra length this way in the body. I probably put another couple of inches. It called for, I think it was 13.5, and I think I have about 15 coming across here. So here is the beginning of the mesh section. So you have a yarn over, and then you knit 3, and you take one of those stitches and you bring it over the other 2. And it is a 4-row repeat in order to do this. So I've only gotten through 4 rows at this point, because I just started this morning, or last night. I just started into the mesh section. So this is the 3rd ball of yarn. I have 2 more left, so I should have plenty. And this sweater had 2 options. It had a sleeveless version and it had a sleeved version. I'm doing the sleeved version because we don't want the bat wings to show. So I prefer to have sleeves. So I will be putting those on. So that's what I have been working on this week. Now our show and tell is gonna be a little different this week because I just had one person send me pictures, and that is my craft buddy, Kim. Kim and I, if you aren't familiar with Kim, she and I do craft fairs together. She lives down the road from me a ways, and we get together every so often. You'll see the 2 of us together on a video. And so she sent me a couple of pictures, and I'm going to insert them, but I'll tell you what they are ahead of time. The first one is called Angie Mugs, and it was a tutorial that was done by False Bubbles. And I have done, I forget what pattern it was I did. It might have been my little amigurumi cats. She does a bunch of free tutorials. And I keep thinking one of my loaf cats that I made was also by False Bubbles. So I'm going to insert that picture. So this is Angie Mugs. Now she said she did change some of the expressions because she didn't want them all to look angry. She wanted to put some happy faces on some of them. So she did a little modification on some of them, but I think they're adorable. And then she made these other cute little turtle things. Turtles are very popular right now. So she made the mini turtle, say that fast 3 times, amigurumi, and the pattern is by Cute Crochet. Aren't they cute? They're so tiny. They're like, I don't know exactly how big, but I'm guessing they're somewhere around like this big. I could be wrong. I haven't seen them in person, but they're cute. And like I said, turtles are very popular right now. So those are some items she is making for our craft fair. And our first craft fair of the season is going to be on August 19th. So be thinking of us as we swelter out in the heat. Hopefully it won't be as hot as it's been around here lately. It was 99 degrees today. So we're hoping it's a little cooler by the time we do this in the middle of August. So that is our show and tell. Now I'm not reading any books right now. I finished the books that I had because I have officially retired from working at the library. Yay, that was Wednesday. So I had to return all of the physical books that I was reading at the time. I wanted to make sure they were back because I don't live close to where I worked. It was like 19 miles down the road. So I do have a local library here because I actually live in Pennsylvania, but I worked in Maryland. So I will be checking out our local library to see if I can find the rest of the Aunt Dimity series that I haven't read, so I can work through the rest of those books. And then, of course, I still have the digital books that I can get online from the library that I worked for, as well as there's digital books that I can get through the local library as well. So yeah, right now, no books. I tried to start one. I found a series that sounded really good. It was about a lady who inherits an old house, and she finds out there might be a Confederate treasure hidden in it because it's down in Charleston, South Carolina. And I thought it would be interesting, and I started reading it, and it was really good. And then it got into some language that I would prefer not to read. So I ended up not reading that book anymore. So I wish they wouldn't put that in there, because I was really enjoying the book up until that point. So anyway, yeah, no books right now. I have to go in search of some. Now, last week we did an announcement because the channel has reached 4,400 subscribers. So, and we are about a quarter of the way to the next 100. If you're new to the channel, every time I hit another 100 subscribers, we do a giveaway, which always involves yarn. So we had 85 entries from last week, and I drew a winner using random comment picker for YouTube, and the winner is Barbara McEwen. So Barbara, get in contact with me over at KatrinasCreations@yahoo.com, or you can message me over on Facebook at Katrina Knits and let me know your address, and I will get the yarn out to you. So what did she win? Because we all want to know. This is Just My Stripe from Lion Brand. It is in these gorgeous teal colors. I made a bunch of hats out of this particular color. Not this particular skein, this is a brand new skein. But I had some of it left over. But this is a 4-weight. It's 177 yards, which is 162 meters. It's 100% acrylic, and it's a 3-ounce skein. So it's called Berry Blue, and it is gorgeous. For those of us who really like teal, and you can see it gets really dark teal in here, and then it goes out to lighter. Oh, you can see some of the dark teal here too. So it's called Just My Stripe, and it comes in various colors. I think I had some in gray as well, and I had some in blue, and I had some in pink. But I made a hat for my granddaughter because this is my one granddaughter's favorite color. The other one liked pink and purple. But my oldest granddaughter, teal, is her favorite, and so her hat was made out of this color. So congratulations, Barbara, and as soon as I hear from you, I will get it out in the mail to you. Wednesday's video is going to be a tutorial on how to do the 6-pointed star Afghan. It actually, the pattern will work for a 5-pointed star as well. It's the same technique. My pattern, it's not my pattern, but the pattern that I'm doing this from, I kind of got from different bits and pieces. It's not one that I got specifically just from one person. So yeah, we will be doing that on Wednesday. That will be our tutorial. Now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, I have quite a few things to advertise today. Lion Brand is offering the sale that they offer all the time, basically, and that's 30% off of yarn and kits. All of the links to the sales are down below in the description box. Just click the button that says Show More or More. Click that. It'll open up, and it's all alphabetical. And if you need a coupon code, I put that in there too, so you don't have to try to remember everything. So Lion Brand, again, is having 30% off of their yarn and kits. Mary Maxim is running a sale. They are having 25% off of their Afghan kits. Kits mean it's the pattern and the yarn. So 25% off through Sunday. So it ends the end of, well, day before the end of July. It ends on July 30th, which would be Sunday. Annie's catalog, they are running 20% off of any regular priced item site-wide. You do need to use a coupon code 20JULY in order to get that discount, and that ends on Sunday as well. So it's 20% off of any regular priced item site-wide. And they carry stuff for knitting, crochet, quilting, I don't know what else, you name it, plastic, canvas, embroidery. They have lots of different crafts that are covered underneath there. Just like Mary Maxim carries more than just knitting and crochet. They carry other crafts as well. So anyway, that is Annie's. Lovecrafts. There is a Lovecrafts for UK, and there's also Lovecrafts for US. I have both links down below. Just make sure you get the right one, or it messes with the pricing and the shipping and all that stuff. But they have up to 75% off of clearance, and they are also running up to 35% off of Debbie Bliss and Valley yarns. So I have used Debbie Bliss yarns before. But anyway, so that is Lovecrafts. So up to 75% off in their clearance, and up to 35% off of Debbie Bliss and Valley yarn brands. Now Jimmy Bean's Wools they are running a special right now. A lot of times I don't talk about them because a lot of times I don't think they're running a whole lot of a sale, but this one's pretty good. They are offering 3 skeins of Malabrigo, which is a really good brand, of worsted merino yarn. So it's Malabrigo worsted merino, 3 skeins for $24. That's pretty good, because that breaks down to $8 a skein for Malabrigo yarn, which is a pretty good deal, especially since it's merino wool. So that is Jimmy Bean's. And then Knit Picks is offering 20% off of their tools, like their yarn winders, their spinning wheels, their knitting needles, crochet hooks. I don't know if they have Tunisian crochet hooks or not. I didn't look. But any of their tools, they're 20% off. You do need to use a coupon code KPTools20 to get that. And then in the mail today, the Dream Catalog came. This is from Knit Picks. You can go online and ask them to send this to you. Get on their mailing list and they send it for free. But I will show you a couple of the pretty things that I saw in here. This shawl is gorgeous. I'm hoping it'll show up. How pretty is that with all that lace work on it? So there was that. I kind of drooled through the book while I was talking to my mother on the phone. There's this sweater. Now, I don't care for the neckline unless you wore it over top of something, but I really like the way, how the pattern kind of crisscrosses in here. It's raining again. I had to look out the window. But I think it's neat the way kind of the lines go in like this. I think it would be very slimming, very figure friendly. So I thought that was cute. Then they have some of their yarns. They have hawthorn yarns. These are they're a tonal, but you can see they're really pretty. And they have some over here and some of their other colors. I have used hawthorn speckled before. I don't know if that's in the picture. Well, there's one with a speckle in it. There's some in here. Like here's one of their speckled yarns. I used one that was gray with like purple and fuchsia colored speckles and made a shawl with it. And it is really nice to work with. Then they have swish, and swish yarns almost look hand dyed. Trying to see if it says what. It's a swish, it's Swish DK. And it has a hand painted touch. So they look like they're hand painted yarns. But there's some of them. Now this is something that's been knitted up with that. I think there's a better picture someplace where I can show it to you. But yeah, they've come out with some nice yarns lately. They have, here it is. These are Swish Pops. So look at all the colors. Isn't that pretty? And then this up here is their Shine multi-pack. And their Shine yarns are really pretty too. There you can see that. So that's a multi-pack. I don't know how much. You have to buy it as a value pack for that one, but you can also buy them individually. I'm not sure how much they are. I didn't go on site to look, but yes, I drooled my way through the magazine because it's pretty to look at. Yes, it's the dream book if you want to get one and take a peek. You can also do the same with Mary Maxim. I've signed up, so I get ones from them too. So it's always fun to look and see what's out there. So that's what I have for you today. I will see you again on Wednesday with the Afghan tutorial. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.